That's because I'm a marketer and a branding guy, not a salesman. But I'm also a salesman. Look at the earlier question I asked you. You said, what are you gonna do? I said, sell. I know how to sell, I know how to brand. The best way to sell in the world is not to run retargeting programs or affiliate marketing, it's build a fucking brand. Everybody, you think my man here is wearing those Nikes because they cookied him? Right? Like everybody here is wearing everything they're wearing, everything, the underwear I'm fucking with, what is it? Calvin Klein. It's fucking brand. It's fucking brand. It's all brand. That's exactly right. I don't want to ask people to buy my shit. I want to say I have a new sneaker out and people buy that shit. I have a new book out, of course. And here's the best part, and this is the most important fucking part in the entire game. When I ask for something, come see me speak, come buy my sneaker, come buy my book, I give away all this free shit, better than anyone. I think I'm at the top of the game. Free. If they don't, I understand. I have zero expectations to convert. Too many people are giving away shit. When you give with expectation, you're a piece of shit. You're not a good person. When you give and you have an expectation, you're a manipulator. You're not a giver. I give and have zero expectations. The chips will fall where they are. If it goes great, mazel tov. If not, I wasn't providing enough value. That's on me. I don't give. I'm not doing this interview for any other reason than I know that it's leverage for you and it's going to put you on and you can use it for other shit that you want to do. And you know how good that makes me feel? That's real life. Brother, I have zero expectations of everybody.
Now what you just listened to is a clip I've taken out of a longer interview that me. Just a few days earlier, I had sent a voice note to a client of mine who I was trying to get to understand that marketing has to be done. If you really want to do marketing to build name and brand recognition and gain visibility on the web, it's not the same mindset you use for when you're doing marketing offline, because more often than not when you do marketing offline, it tends to require a lot of expense of money, time, effort, and well, compared to what you do online, kind of, you can literally run your marketing on the equivalent of a shoestring budget when you use the internet, a website and all that. So I had to tell him about the fact that you have to do marketing online with the mindset that you're not expecting anything in return. It does, because a lot of what you're going to be doing will be testing. So you're going to hear me talk about that in a recording. It's actually a voice recording I sent to him. I've just edited out some personal details and you will hear me talking about it and trying to explain how he will need to have that kind of mindset if he really wants to succeed with web marketing. Anybody who is a professional in the field of web marketing will tell you, web marketing, there's no out of the box formula. There's no black box of steps you have to follow. There's no one formula. You actually have to do a lot of testing again and again. Every brand is unique, just like every human being is unique, because you're a unique human being, your brand in terms of marketing will be unique. So you have to find out what works for your brand. That means you have to do a lot of testing, a lot of trial and error. But if somebody has experience of using the web to sell to a particular target audience, the person will be able to leverage that experience to cut down the time, effort and resources that will be needed. I knew what I was doing when I said that. I am sure you noticed that literally every single day now I have a new video, at least a new video. And if I don't have a video, I have a PDF or some other resource I publish every single day. It's deliberate. People do not understand. I keep telling people all the time there's something called digital cash flow generating assets. Robert Kiyosaki talked about cash flow generating assets. I decided to settle for digital cash flow generating assets because he was talking about real estate for the most part, and I knew that I could not apply his ideas in my society. I have a real estate client. It would be a waste of time. So I decided to go for the other assets he also had. Kiyosaki also talked about his own book writing, and he said those are also his cash flow generating assets. All right, and so he has a lot of royalties coming in from all over the world for the book licenses he has given out. So my point is this: you've got to create stuff that help you to make money. But in order to create those stuff, in order to promote those stuff to make money, you have to create a system of marketing that will support them. That is the product. That product can be a digital product that's actually available for download. Maybe it's a set of videos. It could also be a consultation service or both. All right, but whatever the case might be, that is the product. We can announce it like the video I created for you, the trailer. Wonderful. The announcement is done. But then what follows to convince people? You see, it takes time. That's what I'm trying to get at. It takes a lot of time sometimes to reach people. We're not talking about one of two sales, two sales, three sales. We're talking about creating a system, kind of a stream of incoming inquiries. Don't necessarily become sales. Inquiries, because when you have inquiries, then you can have sales conversations. I know you know what I'm talking about. When you have sales conversations, then you can have sales. Hopefully you close some of those sales. But you've got to first of all generate leads, inquiries. People need to show interest. How do you get them to show interest? They have to notice you. What do you do to get them to notice? You've got to create new content, and you've got to do it as dynamically as possible. And I have learned that we have to be relentless in the churning out of marketing information. It's not a matter of how tired you feel. It's not a matter of how much you think you want to spend in terms of time, effort, or money. It's about you understanding that marketing is the lifeblood of your business. If you want to succeed in selling, marketing has to be continuous, whether you are asleep or you are awake. You've got to have something new out there literally every 24 hours. That is my own philosophy right now. That's why I've grown my brand too. And it's actually more or less effortless. A lot of things that most of you see is something I created like a week, 2 weeks ahead of time. In fact, I'm working towards paying for a platform now where I'm going to just also schedule things for a full month, so that when I travel, I don't even have to worry about stuff that's going on. I don't want to do the YouTube one alone. I want you to go with the website one as well. So there's something I'm working on that will, as you send out website, send out YouTube, send out newsletter. So everything will be going out. So when I'm traveling, I don't have to worry about creating new content. I want to make sure that I'm creating content to be a step ahead. So I'll do another month that I can auto schedule a month ahead, so that every single month I'm taking care of for the next month. So now, what am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that if we do not create new content, promotional content that will enable us to generate interest in the solution you're offering, which is this, in order for us to create interest in that product and get noticed by the people that fit your target audience profile, we need to generate new content on a regular and on a consistent basis. 2 words: regular and consistent. Not necessarily the same thing. The consistency is the key, I would say. If people know you are coming out every week, then they will look forward to every week. But what if you come out every day? That's regular, more regular than the weekly one. But you could be doing monthly, and then being weekly might be more regular. So you can step it up. You can start monthly, then go weekly, then go daily. It all depends. The truth of the matter is that it depends on the results you want to get. It depends on the kinds of people you are talking to as well. And it depends on what platform you are using. I have looked at what you're trying to sell. It's not something that is popular, especially in this part of the world. But thankfully, you say you're looking at the global audience. Excellent. So if you want to get taken seriously by the global audience, understand that there are people who are doing what you do as well, offering your solutions to the global audience. So how do you set you apart from the crowd? That's why you see all the effort I put into creating all those things I've sent to you. We want to first of all get you distinctive branding. What I put there is subject to your approval and subject to your modification. Will tell me what you want change or whatever. This is just me coming out. Even now I'm thinking of tweaking it, but that's just something that is unique. It's different, and makes you look like you are new. So that's eye-catching. You get the attention. Then they connect with your content. They interact with you. They say, oh wow, this man is making so many promises here. Then they dive deeper. Then they're looking for more, and there's nothing more maybe for a month. That determines also how quickly you find them. But you might lose them if it takes a month. So I don't know. But the thing is, if it's regular, so the next month they run into your content again, the next month they run into your content, good. So you have something that is on that basis consistent. But it could be regular, more regular than that. Weekly, I have a book that I used to sell. I think I sell it for I think it was either $25 or $50, I don't know, and it was bought by people in different countries. Some people, one man bought it as a gift for an employee of his that was going to start a business. Then that employee now contacted me and said he wanted an updated version that had my newest website address, that was an old one. I was shocked. Now that was a compilation of articles from my website. I called it 25 articles on entrepreneurship, self-development, and all that, and I just copied and pasted them into a Microsoft Word file, branded it with a cover, did everything beautifully, and put it up for sale. So you see, you do it and you're actually creating something that is a digital cash flow generation asset that you're going to end up with. I have lots of that. At least I have about 5 of those. And it depends on who I'm talking to. When somebody makes an inquiry for me sometimes, or I chat with an old client, I'll just look at what he told me and I think, I have something I can't find. I'll just go and check my folder on my cloud storage. I'll say, wow. I'll just say, guy, there's this thing available. Are you interested in this? I have this compilation. I made it. I just make the sale, and I even upsell something else to him. So I wanted, when you're consistent and you're regular in delivery of value-adding content, information and education, and sometimes entertainment, people will feel that way about you. They just connect with you. I have people that call me up sometimes that when I call them up, they'll instantly tell me they always had my number saved on their phone, even though I never had done any business with them. I was just calling them to ask them a question. Sometimes I need information. Some of them are in different countries because I have this Skype account now. I use it. So, I got called in many years ago by Tantalizers. I don't know if you know them. This fast food chain. I don't know if it's in other parts of the country, but I know it's based in Lagos. Mrs. Kamsin. I didn't know her. I never even met her. But they called me based on my talk that I gave at the Center for Management Development in 2002. So one of the ex-managers from there was a consultant to them, and they wanted somebody to come and talk to them about self-development. Yeah, that was it. And that was my specialty. I had a paper I published then. So that paper actually got me to meet Patutomi. He called me to his office to meet with me because I sent him a copy, and he got his PA. At that time he was Dr. Utomi. Now that's why I'm telling you about the power of writing, but not writing. When you're doing this initial writing, you're not doing it to to get people to come and pay money. You're just doing it to build what is called name and brand recognition. And the attitude is that you want to let them know that is what you're doing. You're not selling anything. It doesn't mean you won't put the call to action there or some other things, sign up for it, but you won't push it. You deliberately let them know, guys, I just enjoy the go. I just the serve on it. And where did I see that this thing works? That I jumped on it and began using it. I saw it when I began to follow Bodubin in the year 2000. That was when I started reading Bodubin articles in Sonny Ojagbasi's magazine. Bodubin will write articles. He will not put a single call to action. It wasn't that. Bodubin is a master now. But I just noticed that man will just write. I will just say, Bodubin, I see this man again. And his articles are always powerful. But just say, Bodubin is a mentor of international school. Bam, don't finish. For inside that, I know they put anything there. When I began to follow him online, I noticed that generally there was a subscription form for this thing. But even in his content, well, he would say sometimes, send me an email and I'll tell you more. But beyond that, he wouldn't really push it. So when I read some of his stuff, and that's what he was saying, that you want to kind of saturate people's minds with the knowledge that you are just an authority that is overflowing with value you can add to them. And to you listening to me, I want you to understand that is what you have to do going forward. If you listen to Vaynerchuk's message, you see that he said in there he has zero expectations. You have to, if you are doing your marketing, sending out your marketing messages, giving your marketing content out with a mindset of expectation, then he says you are not a good person. Not like in a bad sense, just like your motives are, your motives are not straightforward. You are a manipulator. And let's be honest, that's really what we're doing. I use the expression sometimes, dangling the carrot. The only difference in the mindset I have is that even when I dangle my carrot, I dangle it without attaching myself to it emotionally. So yeah, I dangle it. I want you to get to respond. But if you don't, it's cool. You see, Gary also said that if he says he's expecting to make a sale and all that, but if you don't buy, if he says come and buy my sneaker, come and buy this, you don't buy, he's still okay. But there are some people who are so invested in getting a result that when they don't get it, it kind of just demotivates them. So they over time just find that their motivation dies and then they just disconnect and don't want to do it anymore. I've had clients that we started out on a web marketing project and they wanted results like yesterday. And I always tell people, it's ridiculous because nothing good ever comes easy. So why should you expect to put in effort of 2 weeks, 2 months, 1 month, and then you expect to get results overnight? Meanwhile, you who hired me, you know that I was in this thing for years before I became so good at what I'm doing now that I can actually help you to do it. But you want me to generate a result for you that happens within a matter of, overnight, literally. So the message I want you to take away from this is, understand that you've got to be willing to put in the work. And sometimes you need to put that work in for considerable lengths of time. And I always use real life examples that people can relate to. to illustrate why this is the way to go if you really want to achieve what is called sustainable, authentic, long-term web marketing success. I want to mention some companies, and you see that that's exactly what they have done and what they continue to do, and you will see why it's the best way to go if you really want to build a brand. That way, you see, your motivation will not die, because you know that you're not doing this because you want those results immediately. You are doing it because you actually love what you're doing. That's why you must pick on a passion or something that you're passionate about, and then also you actually love helping people with what you're doing. So your marketing must be the kind of marketing that actually adds value to people, information and education that is useful but at the same time promotes you. It's called marketing without advertising. All right. Okay, so one example is Google. We all know that today Google, you can pay. Look at Gmail now. My Gmail box is full. Google is telling me I can be paying about 3,000 naira, I think, per annum, 200 and something naira per month or 300 naira per month to step up with some huge volume of gigabytes. But I've used them for years without ever having to pay any money. So actually, it's a no-brainer now. It's easy for me to believe I should pay for this because I know the value. It's important to me. It's valuable to me. So I want to keep using it. Why not? So I'm willing to pay. Another company that has done something like that is Facebook. We've all used Facebook for so long, then suddenly the ads came up. They said even Google too. Google had ads. Now some of us are paying money and doing Google ads. Facebook, the same thing. Now we do Facebook ads. People are spend money on all kinds of things on Facebook. So Facebook is making money. But when they started, they did not ask anything of us. They gave and they gave and they gave and they gave. We used and we used and we used, and then we were saturated with value. Then they began to dangle carrots before us. Some of us will take, some of us will not take, but they are making money. But they had to first of all give without expecting anything in return, and without demanding anything in return. Another company, YouTube, under Google. But the company started out initially, I don't think they were the same. But what doesn't matter. What I'm saying is YouTube. Also, you've been using YouTube for so long, blah blah blah. But at some point, you may decide to have premium membership. All right, you may decide to place YouTube ads. Things like that. So many things you can do on YouTube that YouTube is using to make money today. But you can always create a free YouTube account to get started. They give you without asking anything in return. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. And I think that's the mistake all of us are making. We think that when it comes to our own personal marketing, we can demand of the world something that we ourselves are not even willing to give. It makes no sense. So if you know you really want to succeed with web marketing, the mindset you have to have is a mindset of service. If you don't have a mindset of service, you can't do successful web marketing. It's going to be, it's going to have expiry, shelf life. But if you do web marketing with the mindset of service, that's not expecting anything in return, then you will have what is called longevity, unlimited shelf life. It's called timeless marketing also. Those are the things that will come. That's the kind of marketing you'll be doing. And so it means that your marketing will literally outlive you. And even when you're sleeping, your marketing will be working for you. Because you're going to be creating stuff that people will love interacting with, no matter how long or how much time has passed. All right. So I hope you found this useful. And if you have any questions, reach out to me using the contact details on the screen. I wish you well.